here now. Sorry about that. We're a couple minutes late, but I got pizza. So really, I think that's worth it. So welcome to the GRLCS Summer Splashdown with me, Vid, as you can see there at the bottom of your screen. Week 1, so we're going to be recapping all of the games from the first week. We actually only have 8 of the 10 expected that we're going to be recapping. And then we will have 8 for the foreseeable, or 7 for the foreseeable future. Because, well, gold is gone. RIP. F in chat. And we just lost a diamond team. So, let's hop into the games real quick. So have I mentioned that I'm an idiot? Let's just let that sink in. I'm a moron. Okay, the moment of silence for my brain. First we had gold, Pop-Off Gaming versus EMG. Didn't happen. EMG rebranded to Booyah Armada like Thursday. And then we had Gods of Herald versus the other guys, which are the 2 teams that didn't drop out, but, you know, disbanded anyways. So, the other guys, it was a 2-1. They managed to pick up game 2, but overall it just seemed like Gods of Herald was getting their bearings with their new top laner and that big change in style like we talked about last week. As I predicted, bot was the weak side for Gods of Herald in this game, with most of the credit of game 2 actually going over to the other guy's bot lane for capitalizing on the aggression and then punishing Nyrock and Glitter and Gains. Oath looked really good game 2. I think he killed Nyrock like 4 times in lane, and it was just, I mean, honestly, it was kind of embarrassing. But on another note, this series really looked like a comedy of errors between the junglers. Slickums lost a couple of 50-50s, and he got picked a few times, and he lost 2 or 3 objectives over the whole series. And he almost lost game 2, actually. This was almost a 2-0 because Slickums got picked at Elder Drake, which almost definitely would have ended the game, but Slim Richie teleported in and actually stalled for long enough that the other guys was able to respawn, come back in, win the team fight, take the Elder, and win the game. Meanwhile, Taco Trinecki, he lost a Baron in game 1 at a 3-level disadvantage, or he was at a 3-level advantage to Slickums, and he lost the Baron because he didn't have his smite when Gods of Herald went for it. I'm not sure whose call that was, but it wasn't good. And I made the mistake of watching this on 4x speed, because I've watched all of these games on 4 times speed, so that I didn't have to spend like 12 hours watching games. But I watched this on 4 times speed after all of the other Plat and Diamond games, so it was like just yakety sax going in my head the entire time. You know, it was bad. So that was gold. Next up, well, unfortunately, that was gold. RIP. 07s. Sorry, guys. That's it for gold. They're never coming back unless they come back. Now for platinum and diamond. Can I get unbanned from gold? Paladin? Considering you're platinum, no. So, platinum, the recap here. First up, we had Divine Ascension Black versus Bucky's Abusement Park, and this series really just looked like Bucky knew their team play better than Divine Ascension. On an individual level, Slim Kim, the top laner for Bucky's Abusement Park, he looked really good against Void Alive, and he was the entire difference in Game 2. His Maokai was so fed that toward the end of the game, it would take 3 to 4 members of Divine Ascension at any point to take him down. Actually, at one point, he fought a 1v4 in bot lane under the inhibitor turret took down 2 people before he died, and the entire time Bucky's, the rest of Bucky's was like not even on the map. They were taking objectives. They were taking neutral objectives. But so Bucky's Amusement Park also played really well around their own mistakes, which was actually how they won Game 1. They had one member picked right before Baron, and instead of like backing off and giving up the Baron, Bucky's Amusement Park all moved around, cleared out the vision they were on blue side, so they cleared out the vision on the top side jungle, and then had a great bush bait that made them look like they were taking Baron, but really they all jumped on top of Divine Ascension, and they won. They took the game off of that team fight from that man advantage, or from the man disadvantage, actually. Our second Platinum game was MG Blaze versus Glacial Rising Eagles. This was where my predictions broke down. I put GRE in 8th, and I put MGB in 2nd, or 3rd, which, that was my big takeaway. MGB didn't play like a third-place team. They had a lot of team-wide mistakes just on it looked like communication, shot-calling problems. GRE just fell behind early in Game 1, which was how they lost. They just lost in lane. Or not they lost in lane. They had a serious disadvantage in lane, and that basically prevented them from winning, even though it went fairly long. Bubblelift got a pentakill in that game, and he was just putting the carry pants on. Just a lot of messy team fights that game that MGB was winning specifically because they had like a more fed member. I think Bubblelift was on Caitlyn. So, Game 2 was where GRE got it together, but they were really just punishing MGB's mistakes. The same mistakes as they were making Game 1. They were punishing those where they weren't able to, where they lost the first game. We did learn in that game that MGB will try to force team fights if they're behind, but they were super sloppy, super desperate team fights. And then Game 3 was over by 10 minutes. Duddy Brains, the jungler for Glacial Rising Eagles, just took control of this game, got like 4 kills in the first couple of minutes, and just handed over these massive leads to his laners. And they just ran with it and ended the series. Next up was Gecko Slammer Armageddon versus Business Time, 2-0, although Business Time looked really good in Game 1. Waterbear, I hyped him up a lot. Last week. He must have been on something because he didn't do anything Game 1. He got executed to Drake, and he actually lost to Baron with a level lead. Business Time had Nocturne, Galio, and Gangplank, which was super good early game at shutting down Boosted Asian's Draven pick. But once he was super far behind, there really wasn't much for the Nocturne to do, because at that point Nico had finished her Zanya's Hourglass. They could still, GSM could still team fight. And then Business Time kind of stagnated in the late game. And that was when GSM got to scale. They got Dragon Soul, they got Bear, and they ended the game there. It was super long. It was like 42 minutes, though. So it was a much closer game than Game 2. They played a lot slower in the early game, both teams did, but that meant GSM could really like pull ahead slowly, snowball that lead, be super secure about it, and Business Time couldn't keep up with the scaling. GSM definitely looked like the better team across the series, although they will need to work on mitigating those early game weaknesses that we saw in Game 1, or else that's just going to happen to them more and more and more, where people pick snowballing comps or just pick comps and be able to take them down. Fourth and final game for Platinum was Return of the Middlesticks versus Hidden Weeb Village. And I believe we got out of this series Ikato GM, confirmed. Ikato is smurfing. He was a monster across the whole series. Game 1 was the Ikato show. I mean, he got 4 or 5 kills early game, just tore through Hidden Weeb Village and chokeslammed him into the ground. It was a 25-minute game. Game 2 was actually faster, but it was more team-oriented. Vbon was playing Shen, which meant that the bot and mid had a lot more leeway for aggressive plays, and they all really paid off for Return of the Middlesticks. Smurfing on the Diamond Retirement League. There were some really good rotations Game 2, massive leads. It was 8,000 gold up at 15 and 13,000 at 20. and Return of the Middle Sticks won in 22 minutes for a 47-minute total series. Now, moving on over to Diamond, MG Eclipse got 2-0'd by GSM. I don't think they had a chance. Ambrose looked really good on the side of MG Eclipse, but the GSM bot lane was super experienced, super good. MG Oshkosh died 3 times in 13 minutes, and GSM just took that bot power. They moved it mid, translated all of their leads, had dragon control. Fissure went top to help General Vici, and then suddenly all 3 lanes were winning. Game 2 was a bit closer in kills, a little bit messier on GSM's part. They were kind of playing for fun in that game, but they ended faster than Game 1, and they had pretty good objective control. I don't think we can draw any real conclusions about MG Eclipse from this series because GSM was pretty much the resounding favorite. Definitely, no question about it, top 3. So we'll have to see next week how MGE stacks up against Sensei Squad, who I had at the bottom. I think a fair number of us would have them definitely in the bottom half. So, second Diamond game was Stuck Gaming versus Return of the Middle Sticks. This was a very interesting series because of the sub. Piplup played ADC for Stuck Gaming this series. He's normally a support player. Game 1 was basically just bot difference. Piplup played Ashe, and the Stuck Gaming bot lane was 0-6 at 15. Return of the Middle Sticks wasn't giving up anything at all across the rest of the map. They had a 5k gold lead at 20. Stuck Gaming tried to rally, but actually Mike Oxmall Bros did find a steal on Soul Point and tried to drag it out a little bit longer. But by the time Return of the Middle Sticks went for Baron, they were just too far behind. Game 2 did go much differently. Piplup played Nico instead of Ashe, Vital played Yasuo, and actually Return of the Middle Sticks did whip out the Middle Sticks. So the bot lane for Stuck Gaming was completely different. It looked like an entirely different bot lane. They kicked ass, and they ended up having a 4k lead at 15. So slightly better than the Return of the Middle Sticks lead in Game 1. Parry Difference was back in form. He solo killed Liposuction lane 2 or 3 times. Solo took the top tower. Piplup was playing Nico, so he did a great job of zoning the Fiddlesticks and the Taric in the team fights, keeping them away because of the Pop Blossom, which ended up giving Stuck Gaming the Mountain Soul, and then they had all of those extra stats that allowed them to just kind of roll through in the last team fight and put the nail in the coffin. Game 3, Stuck Gaming won, but it looked like Tendy's time for a while there. He was 5-1 at 7.5 minutes, and he was the gold lead for Return of the Middle Sticks. Stuck Gaming played around it really well because Tendy's was on Irelia, so he was really split pushing and trying to duel or 1v2 the entire time. They would just collapse all 5 men on Tendy's. They'd lose 1 or 2, but the strongest member of Return of the Middle Sticks would be dead. They'd be able to force a fight on the rest of Return of the Middle Sticks. And they did a great job of staggering death timers, which helped them get the dragon lead. They got the Mountain Soul, and then they went ahead and won a team fight at Baron and just took the 3rd game. Does Tendy sometimes play top and sometimes play jungle? Yes. He was the top laner for Return of the Middle Sticks last split when Divine was still on the team, before Liposuction lane moved back up. But Lane played Sejuani in Game 3. It's not really a Tendy's style. Dog of Hacking coming back in a game with Return of the Middle Sticks has a large lead. That was, I was having flashbacks while watching this game. I was like, thank God I am not casting this one. I'm just analyzing it. So he does play top. He mostly plays carry tops. It's nice with Lane. They swap off back and forth, which is interesting because, carry tops versus tank tops, and then carry and supportive junglers makes for a much more interesting draft because you don't have them locked into that, and once you see one, you can kind of predict what the other one's going to be. Next up, Return of the Tree Line and Divine Ascension White. It was overturned, and Return of the Tree Line has elected to leave the league, so we're not going to talk about it. Plus, Return to the Treeline sent in a bunch of screwed up raffle files, so I couldn't even watch them. I was going off of one of the match histories, because between the first and second match history, the match history went down. So, final game here was XD versus Sensei Squad. Despite the 2-0, it was actually much closer than it looks. Sensei Squad had a really good early game in Game 1, but good team fighting in the mid-game from XD brought the lead back over to their side, and then they took Baron at 22-30 off of a good team fight win. They locked in their lead, they forced a mid-fight there with the Baron buff that gave them the inhibitor, and then danced for a little bit, took the second Baron, won a 4-1 team fight, and then just won Game 1. Game 2, much more impressive early game for XD. There was a lot more coordination in early game, or in their early game play. They blocked an otherwise really good Herald play in the bot lane for Sensei Squad. They had double teleports and put it down there and actually turned the team fight around. This was a lot cleaner. Second game, XD would just take their leads. They out-rotated Sensei Squad, beat them to the punch on a couple of different objectives, and made sure that, really they weren't going to hand over the game, because it looked like they were going to lose Game 1. So they definitely didn't want that to happen again. I was actually sweating during Game 1, because I was like, oh my god, if I lose to Sensei Squad, or if Sensei Squad beats XD, I had them in 4th and or maybe 5th and 8th. If that flips, I'll feel really bad. Wait, why I get Flame? Yeah, why did you get Flame? I don't think I was flaming Ari. Jeez. You people. Well, that actually didn't take as much time as I thought it would, so I guess that means it's time to go to the clip of the week. Clip of the week. So we're here in game clips. We've got a couple of different game clips from week 1. Wow, a lot of game clips from week 1. Okay. Clip of the week. So let's start with Catalyst from GSM. Diamond. That's really quiet, but... Okay, so splits the uprights. So this was game 1, which was the, Oshkosh died 3 times in 13 minutes. I'm not... Yeah, I mean, it was a field goal if I've ever seen one. Huh. If this is what the rest of them are going to look like, I'm not excited. Alright, Lee Syndrome for the Shiny Bidoof. There we go. Okay. Oh, God. Yeah, so that was the 6-minute team fight. Are the rest of them going to be like this, guys? Can they not? So now, Peacemaker, Gods of Herald versus the other guys, week 1. Ooh, that's some quality. Alright. So this was the end of game 1, I think. Oh! Wow. I'm not actually sure what happened there, so let's watch it again. So was it just one big wombo with the Ornn into Taco? Yep, that's exactly what it was. Good stopwatches, at least. Not that it mattered. Not that it mattered. That was a good one. Good team play. Good team play clip. Elder Engage. This is game... Can't remember. Game 2? I think this is game 2, and... Yep, it was Richie. The Richie Baron fight. Yeah, so the context for this one was actually the part where Slickums gets picked like 30 seconds before this clip, and it looked like Gods of Herald were just going to go ahead and take the Elder Dragon there, and Slim Richie teleports in, baits them, they just start chasing him, and he manages to stall them for long enough that, as you saw, the other 4 members of the other guys manage to get there in time, and then they fight and win, obviously. This was the push that they ended the game off of. That was a good one. I was impressed. The Elder Engage TP flank. That was Goodbye Sweet Lux. Gods of Herald versus the other guys again. And then Taco Trineki just Warwick ulting right in there. That's pretty good. Now the Ari Panda KS compilation. She's 4-2, 5-4 now. That was a Baron steal for business time. And the kill steal for Ari Panda. Chasing down ATL Cartel. And hits him with the Zenith Blade. Yep, 7, 6, and 15 here. Maybe 8, 6, and 15. 8, 6, and 15. As a fellow support, I can tell you sometimes you have to put on the carry pants. Sometimes your ADC just isn't doing it. And I watched this game. Honestly, Boosted Asian wasn't really doing it. The early game did not go well for the GSM bot lane. I mean, you know, not only is going even with Draven not a good thing, especially when you die, which he did a few times. So he didn't even have those stacks to... yeah, he didn't even have the stacks to work on. Yeah, it's talking about the Draven build. Sanguine Blade, Dusk Blade, Yumu's Manamune. I didn't like that. Yeah, I didn't like that much. I mean, the Sanguine is just really confusing because, you know, you should never be alone, especially when there's a Nocturne on the map. If there's a Nocturne and Galio on the map, you're trolling. You're trolling. Mike, what are you doing? Grandmaster level gameplay from Mikado from Return to the Middle Six Platinum.
I need somebody.
Sunfire took it.
I was like,
No auto, that worked. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wait.
Auto.
I'm pretty sure they literally can't even.
I just have no way of going over that wall.
Can I feel that? I just want you to know that they literally cannot kill me.
Yeah.
Kill her. Get her ass.
He tanked everything.
Alright.
Oh, wait, it's Draven doesn't have to be alone. The enemy has to be alone. That's still confusing against... Nocturne Galio GP. Because, I mean, generally they're not going to be alone. But, yeah, I guess, I mean, if that's the standard. I'm not sure how this is a clip, by the way. I don't get how that's a clip. That's not a highlight. Also, yes, thank you, Mechanical Reaper, for the top lane support group. Please help our top laners. They get abused all day. We have a home for battered top laners.
Third wave. I'm gonna go word over here. This is my word. Okay.
I'm here. What's this?
He float. Double float. Okay, nice job.
I'm walking here. I think Gravis is gonna be here.
Yeah, this is the one that I thought it was.
We can We're run over. walking. Kai'Sa's here. Oh, you kill her too. Oh my lord.
Nice job.
Okay, well.
Let's get a.
So maybe not a mechanical outplay, but Aikato definitely was putting on the big brain cap. Because if you didn't hear his if you didn't hear the what do you call it? The chat, he said after he killed Nautilus, he goes, "Okay, well that's cool. I'm gonna head over here to Krug's. I think Gragas might be here." And Gragas was right there, so big brain. And I believe that is the last one. Which one was any good? This one was pretty smart. The Chaos compilation was well made. And was 8 kills. The Ornn Wombo was pretty nice. The Elder Engage was okay. Yeah, I'm thinking the Chaos comp. If I knew we'd get Flex clips streamed, I would have grabbed some of ours. Wait, this is Flex? No, that's... No, this isn't Flex. I'm pretty sure this is just... Yeah, this is against Hidden Weeb Village. Are any of these Flex? Oh, they're all supposed to be they're all supposed to be Flex clips. Of course you're supposed to be flexing on people. I mean, obviously the first this one and this one weren't necessarily flexing on people with skill, maybe just flexing on people with the fact that, you know, you have Lee Syndrome, or you can completely whiff an Aphelios ultimate and still get the kill. Yeah, I think I think the Ari Panda Chaos compilation is the best one. We're pinning it. We're pinning it. The REKS compilation wins week 1. Congratulations, not to Ari Panda, but to Jack Loves Lamp, because he is the one that put that compilation together. So that is the clip of the week, and we've only been streaming for 35 minutes. So, wait. So now we've only been streaming for 35 minutes, which means let's pick a game to stream. Not like a full cast, because solo casting is annoying and hard. But yeah, let me pull up the post-match form. Does anyone have a game that they would like streamed? That they have a burning desire to have streamed? GSM and Return to the Middle Stick series were stomps, so week 1, yeah, all 4 of them. Vici and me and Tendies go even. One game he stomps me, then the other I stomp him. Yeah, do a close game. Yeah, let me look at which games were close. Maybe the Glacial Rising. Anyone here from Glacial Rising Esports? Anyone? Bueller? Question. Oh yeah, thank you, Kelbright, for the Twitch Prime sub, PogChamp. Or maybe we just go full balls to the wall and do the Stuck Gaming Return of the Middle Sticks game 2 or game 3, because obviously you like seeing me suffer. No vid. Vici knows. Vici knows. He knows that that's a bad idea. Oh, wait, didn't... Oh, no, okay. Meristematic was doing the Plat games. Ooh. Oh, we're doing it. We are insane. This is stupid. This is no brain. Small brain. Not the sweaty game? What's the sweaty game? Game 2. Game 2 was good. Game 1 was kind of blah. like watching Stuck Gaming's bot lane lose is just not fun. It's just, you know, they just got killed 6 times. Game 2 was nice. Game 3 was good. Game 2 was the better game. Oh, sweating during Game 1 from XD. Yeah, so that was the one where they almost lost because their early game was abysmal. And Sensei Squad like built up a really big lead. Yeah, we'll do Game 2 of of Return of the Middle Sticks versus Stuck Gaming. So let me pull that up. And real quick, I have to change some things because I didn't mean to, I think this is, yeah. Return of the Middle Sticks versus Stuck Gaming. Does it work? Oh, no, it doesn't work. I've accidentally put the... Oh, no. I have made a horrible mistake. I didn't put the game capture in. My brain is so smooth. But the good news is, it's all fine. So now we're in here for Return of the Middle Sticks versus Stuck Gaming. This is Diamond Capped Week 1. Summer Splash. Get wrecked. All those other things. But so in the top lane for Return of the Middle Sticks, we have Liposuction Lane on Aatrox, Tendies 2 in the jungle on Nidalee, Dat Dang Dude, playing the patented Middle Sticks, and Wing Nation and Maximus 127 on Varus and Taric in the bot lane. Meanwhile, we've got parry difference in the top lane for Stuck Gaming on Gangplank, Mike Oxmaul Bros on Rek'Sai in the jungle, Vital in the mid lane on Yasuo, and then Piplup and Lord Reeves on Nico and Morgana. So as I said, I'm not really going to do, like, hardcore casting. Yeah, this is the original Return of the Middles. Or wait, no. Wing Nation? Is that why? Is that why Return of the Middle Sticks lost this series? They had Prodigium. Yeah, they had Prodigium Game 1. I didn't even notice that Return of the Middle Sticks was, they subbed after Game 1. That's my B. I would have mentioned that in the recap. Wait, I thought they had... Huh. Sorry about that. I watched these, again, I watched these all on 4x speed. So I wasn't paying attention to summoner names, I was just paying attention to champions and things that were happening. Also, did you know, if you watch, 15 League of Legends games, 20 League of Legends games on 4x speed, this looks really slow. Yeah, seriously, where are the Return of the Middle Sticks people? No copy pasta? In the year of our Lord, 2020? Someone better put it in there. I'm going to turn the stream off. But yeah, so as I said, Game 1, Piplup was playing Ashe. Game 2, of course, now he's playing Nico and the Morgana. And then Vital had to transition over to an AD mid laner. Yasuo was okay. He does get bullied a fair amount here by Dat Dang Dude. What do you mean, of course in game... I'm saying of course in Game 2 he switched to Nico because this is Game 2. Kevin. You're mechanically dog shit, and your macro is embarrassing. Your macro is embarrassing. You're calling me out for playing a mage. No, I'm pointing out that you play better on mages than Ashe. At least from the empirical evidence. Vital does have to flash away here. There's a 2-for-1 summoner trade, but that dang dude is still at full health, so the Fiddlesticks does just really bully the Yasuo hard here. Let's see. Game 1, parry difference played Aatrox. So Lipo ended up taking the Aatrox in this game. He played Ornn game 1. So now parry difference is on the receiving end of that Aatrox. Tendy's ganking up there, as you see. Now that he has to play AD, you blame the support. Yeah, I mean, Reeves did throw game 1. I mean, he didn't play hot. You're just warming up, you know? Just getting the old juices flowing. Yeah, he plays Lux and Nico. Plays Weeb mid laners. Yeah, I mean, Killering also plays Lux, Nico, and Zoe. So I think Maximus... No, Maximus doesn't die here. But both bot laners of Return to the Middlesticks get super low, so they do have to back off. Parry difference, I believe he dies here, that gets flashed on. Or no. Tendy's whiffed that. And, I mean, this is a lot of wasted time, of course, by Tendy's. Meanwhile, since Mike is down here, they're just pressuring so hard that Maximus does go down. First blood going over to Lord Reeves, second blood going over to Lord Reeves. Just a good early gank. And parry difference not having to flash there in top lane is super big, because, again, Gangplank is that pseudo-range top laner. He can just beat the hell out of Aatrox once they start getting a couple of items. Yeah, still have flash and oranges. It's just, he didn't have to give up anything for that. Tendy's wasted a lot of time, and then Mike ends up getting 2 assists in the bot lane. Putting Morgana ahead early. Came in late, what's happening? We are streaming one of the games from last week, since I was finished with the recap and the clip of the week, since that was over in half an hour. Figured we have more than enough time. I'll probably end up doing this every week, just showing one game, maybe the most interesting one, or depending on who happens to be in the audience, what game they want. You know, what game they played, or anything that's got a big one. I considered showing the MG Blaze Glacial Rising game, their game 1, because Bubble Lift did get a pentakill. I'm surprised that he didn't clip that and post it, because that was kind of a 1v9 pentakill. But yeah, liposuction lane parry difference taking each other on here. Parry difference does get hit, but he does manage to flash it, and then Lipo just ints his entire life away under this turret. Lane, are you in the chat? Because I want to make fun of you. Like, if you intended to do that, that was huge Giga IQ by parry difference. Lane fell for the bait hard. Yeah, this game was not impressive for Lipo. I think he gets solo killed 2 more times. And, like, he misses a bunch of Infernal Chains, which he doesn't seem to know that they don't go through minions. Also, yeah, so, I mean, right now it's like a 1.5k gold lead. Most of that is the bot lane. A fair amount of that is parry difference, so he does have, what, 5 CS and a kill, plus all of those Silver Serpents. When I play top, I int this matchup as GP. I'm sure you do, Thomas. I'm sure you do. Just don't int. Big brain. Piplup, you still here? Buddy. You still here? Kind of want to flame you a little bit. Oh, I'm actually going to move the chat up just a little bit. Is there any way to... Can I move it? I guess not. I guess not. Oh, what? How do I open chat? Seriously? You can chat in this? Didn't think you could. I didn't know that the Fiddlesticks wards are they're not targetable, but they have a hitbox for abilities. Because if you saw there, Lord Reeves actually hits the Fiddlesticks clone with his binding. Oh, it's for replying to messages while spectating. Oh yeah, I guess doesn't Salty Timo do that? He doesn't talk, he just types in chat. This is such a nasty combo. Morgana and Nico, I mean. The two of them just chaining it all up is, yeah, they have a hitbox, so you can plant an effigy in front of Scion R and it'll cancel it. So that's Parry Difference's second solo kill on lane. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to change that at some point. Because that just seems way too strong, especially since it's on like a 40-second cooldown late game. Yeah, it's a super short cooldown, and the fact that you can pretty much use it for anything. I mean, it's a sweeper, it's a ward, and Parry Difference does die here. He takes 2 turret shots as well. Not that there was much that he could do at all, but just taking 2 turret shots never looks good. But yeah, just look at all of the damage there, and that's not even like fed Piplup, or that's not even fed Nico. He's got 67 CS here at 11 minutes. Does a ton of damage because it's all guaranteed, and like Wing Nation goes down, or he has to flash for it. Parry Difference just use ult. Cost no mana, would be a free skill shot deny. If Nico W had a hitbox, since it costs no mana, it's on a long-ish cooldown, but I mean, like, otherwise it's not a useful ability, really. But this is a good, good collapse here. It's a 2 for 0. And I think does Parry Difference kill Liposuction Lane again? Yeah, he flashes around the barrel, or he flashes around the 3rd Q and takes him down. Pretty nice. And now Vital tries to 1v2. But, like, with Mike coming up and Maximus being only level 5, it is really not that, like, it's not that, bad of a thing. That dang dude does almost get the kill on him. He doesn't have flash, though, so it's really hard for him to try and complete that kill. Mike, however, significant level disadvantage, but now Lord Reeves is here, makes it a 3v2. Vital gets the kill. Maximus is going to go down as well because Piplup rotated. 2 for 0, and there's nothing for Stuck Gaming to get in the bot lane anyways. Good rotate. Pre-rework LeBlanc's ulted R clone didn't cost mana and block skill shots globally. Yes. Oop. Rip Mike. Over-aggressive. Went under turret. Piplup flashes forward, tries to get Wing Nation, doesn't manage to catch him with the stun, gets some damage off, takes some damage. The flash was a little sus. The flash was a little sus, but Mike definitely gets the brunt of that. Vera's having ult, walking under turret there to try and get a kill on Tendies. But I mean, just in general, look at the game state here, 4K difference, and the majority of that is parry difference, the bot lane. Nico was out of mana with her ult. What was her plan? Well, ask him. He's in the chat. What was your plan with that? I mean, Kog'Maw's still kind of brain dead right now. Like, the 5.0 attack speed was definitely stand still, and if you get half a second, everyone dies. But current Kog'Maw, still not intelligent. He's just bad. And now parry difference has to try and 1v2 against both of the solo laners. I forget if he does. I don't think he does. Because, especially since Maximus is coming down as well, Lipo flashes in, he gets the kill. Revenge. And Aatrox's first kill of the game, as well as all of his cooldowns to get that. It is a 3-kill shutdown, but, you know, not sure if worth, especially with with Herald and Infernal on the map. Although it does look like Return of the Middle Sticks does collapse here. Yeah, you're a sub. So Return of the Middle Sticks not going for the dragon and not pressuring that. I mean, it does bait out parry differences teleport because Lipo's down there, so they are at a man disadvantage, or Stuck Gaming is at a man disadvantage. However, the fact that no one is really playing around it and Stuck Gaming is just kind of position, you know, or partial resetting all of their carries. Kind of questionable. I don't know, though. What do I know? I'm a gold player. But now, here we go. You see, once Vital has reset, he gets those Merc Treads, the Blade of the Ruin King, Tendies is on the wrong side of the map. Of course, Stuck Gaming doesn't know that. But parry difference draws some pressure, lets the 4 go for Dragon here. And Return of the Middle Sticks doesn't really know. They don't really get anything off of this. Dragon goes down, and Tendies has just started Rift Herald right now. But, again, not having vision on that side. It's whatever. Back and forth. Tendies is soloing it. He does take a lot of time to do that. And Mike gets to pick up some of this CS deficit. That is one thing that I didn't mention throughout the rest of this game. Since Mike is 1-1-6 right now, Tendies is 1-2-1. All of those kills that Mike has been going for and he's been picking up with his team, Tendies has been counter-jungling him something fierce. That is something that Tendies does really well. The moment that he sees the jungler on the other side of the map from him, he goes ahead and takes whatever he wants. If that's a solo Herald or starting a solo Drake or just taking camps, he does that a lot. And now it looks like he is going to look for a gank here. He is going to pick up Piplup easy. Lord Reeves has Zanya's. Isn't going to get to use, or doesn't use it. Maximus does go down to parry difference, which is a good return pickup for Stuck Gaming. And I think Lord Reeves starts to get out of here because Mike is going to pick up a kill onto Wing Nation. And really, at the end of the day, it's a 2-for-1. Lord Reeves still has Zanya's here. Does use it. And Vital coming here is going to try and force the back off from Return of the Middle Sticks. Kill goes through, but another kill. Tendies is going to go down in a second. No, he's not. I forgot how poorly this fight goes for Stuck Gaming. Tendies cleans it all up. Parry difference. That is just downright unfortunate. But there we go. Parry difference gets that top tower solo. Now, with both of the outers down for Stuck Gaming, and really nothing on the map for another minute and a half, and that minute and a half is barren. So, 2.5 minutes until the next realistic objective. The smart thing to do here is probably just force mid as 5. Since, I mean, you don't have teleport priority on anyone, you have superior team fighting at this point because, well, I mean, Wing Nation is still pretty weak. He just has his Umbral Glaive. You have really good team fighting ultimates because, well, I mean, you like Return to the Middle Sticks does have Crowstorm and Taric. All right, I'm gonna throw a flag on that one. I am sus. But now the Cosmic Radiance is out, and there goes the Chain of Corruption. So Piplup is dead, but two of the better team fighting ultimates on this Return to the Middle Sticks team are down. And parry difference is just split pushing top, which is, of course, going to force Liposuction lane. I think parry difference's teleport is almost up, 10-15 seconds. So that will be more than enough time before Dragon. Parry difference is backing off. Going to have teleport in a second. Tendies. Drops the Herald, but there's no wave to push it in, and they're not going to bring in the rest of their team. However, yeah, Stuck Gaming doesn't get there in time. They don't move fast enough. And now Piplup goes down again. This seems like a theme of this game. Tendies just gets a really easy kill and then just dies. And he is way more valuable to the dragon that's coming up in 25 seconds than Piplup is. So what we're going to go with is Piplup planned it. Oof. If you haven't noticed, parry difference is strong. He has Triforce, Essence Reaver, and he's even got that Executioner's Calling for the better fighting against Lipo Tendies and Detang Dude. Keep in mind, teleports are up as this dragon goes down, but Return to the Middle Sticks is in no position to even, consider fighting it. They're missing 2 of their carries. But again, teleports are all up. Oh, geez, parry. I mean, I guess as far as the people on that team that could have gotten that kill, you didn't have the worst of them, or the worst of them didn't get it. Letting Fiddlesticks take that would have been really bad. And then, of course, Tendies goes ahead and does Tendies things, gets a big kill, and then just dies. So still, Stuck Gaming is in a fairly good gold position, 3.5k. That hasn't changed since early game, but at least it's not closing. Because late game, this does just kind of come down to team fighting. They've got similarly good team fighting ultimates. Gangplank scales really well. And I don't actually know how Nidalee scales. Anyone? Don't ever see her anymore. Bad? Yeah, that's what I figured. She's such a strong duelist that... And then, I mean, maybe at this point... Yeah. And then maybe at this point, Tendies being able to solo kill one team fighting member of Stuck Gaming is a good thing. even if he dies afterwards, as long as there's nothing huge on the map, like Baron or Dragon. I mean, like the last time he solo killed Piplup, that was bad, because there was a Dragon on the map, and now Stuck Gaming are on Soul Point. Oh, Lord Reeves. Oh, boy. Good old 4-man collapse. By return to the middle sticks. Lord Reeves dies before he can even use Zanya's. They assassinate Wing Nation at least, but now, I mean, there's a huge Fiddlesticks ultimate, and parry differences here. Pop Blossom catches one, Liposuction Lane on the run, parry difference, trying to pick up the kill onto the support. He does, but a triple kill here for Tendies. Piplup cannot finish it off. Parry difference, doesn't have his flash, doesn't want to risk it. Gets hit! But Tendies cannot pick up the kill. Parry difference, tries for it, and they're going to have to walk away. Middly. I want to see the middly. There's that Nico clone hitbox. Piplup, that's yours right there. That's all you. I'm not gonna lie. Watching games on 4x speed and then watching them on normal speed makes League of Legends boring. But here's a team fight. That's the Gangplank ult, and now there goes Tendies taking a lot of damage. Piplup does get the shutdown. That dang dude in the Zanya's Hourglass is going to have to run away, the flash away. Vital going to try and pick up Liposuction Lane. Parry difference, meanwhile, in the back line. He's going to take out one. Cannot find more. Now, Mike is here. Doesn't have the ultimate. Doesn't really need it. Going very low. Mike, he's not going to go down. It's a clean ace. And that's, yeah, just out team fighting. Being able to pick off Tendies, get all of the CC on him really before the fight starts was huge. Dat Dang Dude not really getting off a good Crow Storm on anyone. Being forced to Zanya's instead of being able to flash into the backline, really. And then parry difference just kind of killed Wing Nation. But now, Mountain Soul, so. Mountain Soul works for Stuck Gaming here. That was actually something in Game 1. It was also a Mountain Soul in Game 1. And Stuck Gaming were like getting super close to losing fights. They were, going down fairly low. People would die. And then I think they got they were able to take 2 team fights before they won Game 1 with Mountain Soul. So they had 2 team fights with Mountain Soul. And I think it was a clean ace both times because that, 300-400 extra health was just enough to keep them all from dying. And that's, goes to show you, like, Mountain Soul is, yeah, there we go. Mountain Soul is huge for us, really negated the long-range poke. Yeah, you've got Nidalee and Varus, a lethality Varus, no less. And both of those are just absolutely massive in terms of damage, but they're not going to do more than, 500-600 damage if you can mitigate 400 of that in the late game. That's big. They finally get to take down that mid-outer, which, again, it's big for map, it's big for map stuff. Not huge at this point in the game because it's just so late. Turrets don't really do that much. but now they get to play the Vision game and keep everyone from, God, Vici, get out! A big mountain for a poke comp to climb over. But yeah, they get to play the Vision game, they get to deny all of the blue side vision for this jungle around the Baron. They've got a lot of leeway to work with. There's still 4 minutes until the Elder Drake is up. Parry Difference and Lipo are both going into the bot lane. Both going to split push. Doesn't really work super well in theory for Parry Difference, just because there's nothing for him to take, and Liposuction lane can theoretically or potentially get both of those turrets. All he gets is CS, and he's on 3.5 items to Liposuction lane's 1. 2. Just finished the Death Stance. But Triforce Infinity Edge are better items. Or at least better for fighting against Aatrox. Still has that Executioner's Calling, so Aatrox still isn't going to heal. He will heal a little more now that he has Death Stance. Aatrox can't fight me, so someone else has to come to me. Exactly. The 1v1 is almost impossible at this point in time. Like, Parry Difference has to miss everything in order to lose. And at this point, Tendi's is scaled off because Mountain Soul completely counters the entire champion. And the fact that Stuck Gaming aren't eating all of the hits anymore. Piplup does... I think that was a Fat Finger. He goes low, but Parry Difference is on a rampage, does pick up the kill there. Dat Dang Dude is in the middle of it, but he doesn't have anything. Liposuction lane does teleport. It's a 4v4. Now, Mike just used his ultimate. He's not going to be able to use that to get away. He does go down. Wing Nation, though, is going to follow. Ace for 1. Baron's in reach, even without a jungler, but they could just end here as well. I can't remember which one it is. Team comes for watch this nerd fall for the bait. Jeez. You'd think that, you know, you'd think that at diamond level it's, you think it's less, obvious. Baits need to be a little sneakier. But yeah, that's game 2. Game 3 was nightmarish. Game 1 was not good. So I believe that's it. That is Stuck Gaming versus Return of the Middle Stick. Stuck Gaming up to 1-0. Return of the Middle Sticks down to 0-1. Yeah, they countered the mage bot lane game 3. Yeah, I mean, they took Morgana, so that was kind of it. Yeah, but they didn't really punish us, Lord Reeves is saying in the chat. They didn't. It was top. It was really all top. Let's look at the standings and then look at the schedules. I don't have a slide pulled up for them, so let's bring up... Here we go. So the standings now, Bucky's, Glacial Rising, GSM, and Return of the Middle Sticks are all up 1-0 in Platinum. Meanwhile, in Diamond, it's Divine Ascension, GSM, Stuck Gaming, and Question Mark XD. Now, the schedules. Week 2, we are going to see between Sensei Squad and MG Eclipse. That is something I said I wanted to check out because... it's something I said I wanted to check out because I don't think MG Eclipse got a good go of it. They deserve a chance to prove themselves against, you know, a team that hasn't already been shoehorned into top tier. That's already... Question Mark XD is now 2-0. Return of the Tree Line is pulled out. Divine Ascension, White versus Return of the Middle Sticks. I don't see that going anywhere other than a 2-0 for Return of the Middle Sticks. They didn't, you know... Wait. They lost pretty hard against Return of the Tree Line last week. This past week. And then Stuck Gaming GSM, it will be the interesting one. I honestly can't say who will win. I think GSM is favored in this matchup, but anything can happen. I mean, Dog with Hacking beat GSM last split in playoffs. Meanwhile, on the Platinum side, Divine Ascension versus Business Time. That'll be an interesting one. Divine Ascension had some fairly obvious flaws, mainly in their top lane. Slim Kim from Bucky's Amusement Park just got to go ham all over them. And then Bucky's Amusement Park did really well punishing some of the mistakes that Divine Ascension Black was making. So we'll have to see how this matchup goes. I think Business Time, if they play early game focused, maybe pick comps a little more based on punishing mistakes, I think they can definitely pull out a win in this series. MG Blaze versus Hidden Weeb Village up next is... MG Blaze lost to Glacial Rising, but also we don't know how good Glacial Rising really is, and they also won Game 1 against them. So, back and forth, I'd favor Hidden Weeb Village, because they just kind of have a balls-to-the-wall playstyle that I think would do fairly well into the also fairly chaotic style of MGB. A lot of forced fights in the series against Glacial Rising. Next, Return to the Middle Sticks versus Bucky's Amusement Park. It feels a lot closer than I would have put it last week, but I still think Return to the Middle Sticks will take this one. And then finally, GSM versus Glacial Rising. Yes, Abusement Park. Bucky's Abusement Park. But yeah, then GSM versus Glacial Rising. I still give this one to GSM. I think Waterbear just had a bad week last week. He didn't look too good, but I think he can look a lot better in the next week, especially just with a little bit more practice with his new top and ADC, or top and support, rather. And maybe if Ari Panda doesn't steal 8 kills, Boosted Asian can have a good game. But for now, I believe that will be it for me here on the Summer Splashdown. Thank you for watching. We got just over an hour of content, so I think that's good for tonight. I will be back next Sunday with a recap for Week 2 and a preview of Week 3, as well as probably another game from Week 2, depending on, what looks good. So, thank you everybody for watching. I have been Vid. This has been the GRLCS Summer Splashdown Week 1. Have a wonderful evening, and tune in later, I believe. Let me check the schedule. Tune in later tonight as Return to the Middle Sticks takes on Divine Ascension White in 45 minutes. And, well, actually in 15 minutes, GSM takes on Stuck Gaming. So figure out which one you want to watch, or if you're playing in them, go play. So thank you everyone for watching. It's been wonderful. Have a nice night.